So anyway, well, the other thing that there is there anything to say about Marvel really at the moment? I mean, I'm obviously there's a load of shit I've got to say about it.
Well, Marvel right now is on top of the world, and I think it's mainly due to the fact that Disney did buy them and is giving them the funding. When people
See,
say, well,
No.
hold on.
okay,
Let me at least
sorry.
finish my point.
Yeah.
But just on the point where people say that Marvel is at its best because Disney is there, that's incorrect to say. I would think
Fair
that they're
enough.
helping Marvel only on the basis if, they're getting a lot more funding and thus are able to take more risks, not so much on the creative stuff. They've always had that.
I think it's worth remembering that looking at it in chronological order, we start off with like the really early films, the really shitty Captain America, all that stuff that came out in the 90s and some of it from the 80s as well, yeah. And it's all like, shitty, low budget, fine.
Roger Corman, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually they start whoring out money to different companies. So Sony and Fox get a hold of it. Bryan Singer.
Spider-Man X and X-Men.
Well, yeah, Bryan Singer is the first with X-Men, which is long after Tim Burton's already come and blown up the competition with his version of Batman. Same is going for all the other Batman films which came out afterwards. They were still picking up box office money, even if they were terrible. Then, of course, so X-Men is out with Bryan Singer. Spider-Man is the massive one that comes out, and while it doesn't really resemble the comic books, it pulls in a lot of money because we haven't seen something like this before. Fast forward a bit more to a character like Iron Man, and here is the interesting thing. Not only have they taken a character that nobody knew about, I mean, people knew who Iron Man was, and he had a fan following, but it was mostly very selective. He was not a hero who everybody knew about. Maybe you'd seen the cartoon when you were a kid, maybe you haven't.
It was mostly the comic books community, but he was known
Yes.
only by name.
Yes, exactly. And Jon Favreau takes the character and takes everything that worked, and I stress this, everything that worked in the comic book, which Daredevil did not do, which Spider-Man did not do,
Elektra
which,
did not do.
which Elektra did.
Oh,
Damn,
God.
and did not do it all.
A point.
There was just a slew of horrible movies.
Cast a sexy woman and you cast Jennifer Garner, the most gormless twig I think I've ever seen. Anyway, so Iron Man comes out and it doesn't reinvent the character, but it reinvents the genre. And also the other first is that it's a brand new studio. Marvel come in, they've got enough money from all of the other movies they've made to set up their own thing. Now, the movie that's more popular and gets more praise and changes the ways we want to see movies, happen for superheroes is Iron Man. What does that tell you about audience expectations and about the original source material?
I think Batman Begins was.
It's a bit different. What Will is trying to say is that you can take a material that is not as well known, that is not a part of popular culture as Batman, Superman, all those big heroes out there, but you can take everything that works from the source material, you can get a sublime creative team to work on it, and you can make magic with it.
Yes,
I mean, Batman's a lot easier because everybody knows who the fuck Batman is beyond his name.
I thought maybe you just meant like it was like the style of taking what works, fashion it.
No,
kind of like,
not the style.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished the point. The point. Here's the thing. Batman Begins. I do not remember anyone talking about it when that movie came out. Iron Man. I remember everyone talking about it. The Dark Knight. I remember everybody talking about it. And a lot of people who went to see The Dark Knight had not seen Batman Begins at all.
Really?
Because Iron Man, you got to remember, came out just before The Dark Knight did, and suddenly they had competition. Whereas before they didn't have competition, Batman pretty much did as Batman does. Basically, it's one of those things where I think it's totally down to Marvel that the hero industry did as well as it did. I think it's totally down to them that the hero was appealing as it was because they made the right casting decisions, the right decisions when it came to selecting writers and directors to work on it, and they continued that strength. And the only reason Disney is a major bonus to them is purely for the money so they can make the budget bigger and get more stars and more people.
Well, here's a question. I was watching your Epic Mickey History of Disney documentary. Check it out, Cough Cough. So I was watching it, and does Disney really have the money to kind of pump into new projects? I know that like the last 2 years really kind of like fucked Disney over, making like Cinderella 5 and that kind of shit. So where are they getting the money, the revenue to pump into new movies?
Live action industry. See, like I said, when they bought up Touchstone Pictures, it was probably the smartest move they did because, yes, the animation industry was dying and now it's back on form. But the only way they could make the returns and the money they needed was by investing in the live action industry. And think about it, Pirates of the Caribbean is a live action Disney project which got them billions of dollars. Same
trilogy, really.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it did. All three of them were hits, even though the first one was like the only one worth going out and watching.
Even the fourth one,
Well,
didn't
Oh,
make as
yeah. Sorry, there was a fourth. I tried to forget about the fourth one, so fuck you. You brought it back into my attention.
about the
What?
fourth.
A fourth one? No, that's impossible.
Exactly. We don't talk about the Hispanic crazy one.
Well, fuck this franchise.
Yeah, yeah, it was a terrible one. Ian McShane, what do you do with your life? But anyway, Disney have always been a bit of a powerhouse. You've got to remember the theme park has always been popular. The live action industry has always been reasonably popular.
Reselling the same fucking movies every 5 years is popular. Oh, it's Diamond Edition Blu-ray compared to, Platinum Edition DVD, and
This is your last chance before it goes back into the vault. Oh wait, no, it isn't.
vault. I put it in the vault. You're not gonna see this shit again. Oh god, I better buy that.
and no shit, it
Blu-ray.
actually fucking works. My mom has an entire fucking like China hutch full of like every possible version of every single Disney cartoon there is. Back from like the Disney classic and masterpiece like VHSs, and there's like the different versions of DVDs, and finally she's starting to get into Blu-ray. I'm like, oh fuck me, there goes my inheritance.
But that belongs to Disney. Marvel belongs to Disney. The presidency belongs to Disney, and now you belong to Disney. Good luck with that.
That kind of explains that Barack Obama thing in Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Since he belongs to Disney. Now it does anyway.
Well, not to mention Barack the Barbarian.
See, I think
was pathetic.
I think Marvel's infatuation with Barack Obama back then was, I think that was before Disney bought them, so they were trying.
Obama,
there was
Obama.
that whole dick writing thing. So I think Marvel was like hard up to, at least comic wise, get money. So they were making all these big event comics.
There would not have been a Spider-Man McCain crossover.
No, I mean that's pretty obvious.
Can you imagine old John McCain fist bumping Spider-Man? No, it's not going to happen.
I think Marvel are pretty much trouncing the competition at the moment. I mean, DC could do well, but they're just, even the public know it now. They're acting like a bunch of panicking monkeys. I mean, just the whole
Or
the just
China.
or
Oh my
China.
god, Avengers did so well. We gotta hurry up and make a Justice League movie.
No, they don't.
Exactly.
They don't. Well, I mean, they're gonna, but they don't need to do that. I mean, really, it's like Superman ones didn't do well. The Green Lantern
Lanterns
sucked. Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, split opinion on many.
Well, but the Dark Knight Rises isn't even DC. That's Nolan. Nolan's doing.
You say that, but DC is
It's
still.
still a DC property, though. That's what we're kind
Plus-
of talking at.
Is it really any coincidence for either company that both movies decided to come out in the same year? I'm not saying Marvel is clean of this either. It's kind of obvious what they were going for, but I don't think it's completely out of the question that we didn't hear anything about the Dark Knight Rises until all the hype for the Avengers began. I mean, I certainly don't remember after the Dark Knight, the interim period, hearing about it until right up until it was.
Here's an
really
interesting
good.
observation: is that compared to the amount of releases that DC has versus Marvel, obviously Marvel's going to have more hits because they're throwing more darts at the board. I mean, they have 2 Hulk movies and Elektra and 2 Punisher movies, and the list goes on. They have 3, 4 Spider-Man movies now. Well, how many franchise movies does DC have right now? It has like Superman Returns, and they have the 3 Batman movies and Green Lantern, and is that like it?
That's pretty much it.
Shit, the Wonder Woman TV series, the Adam West TV series. That's
Well,
about-
like I say, we're talking about the recent stuff, not like anything prior to. I'm talking like post X-Men 1.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
the way you
And
heard the Bryan Singers got control of the next X-Men movie, which I think is a horrible idea.
yeah,
I mean,
would
let-
really.
The guy who left the series in the first place and suddenly has an interest in it again.
Oh, it's because all the work was done for him by the X-Men First Class guys.
What about Matthew Vaughn is that I really didn't like Kick-Ass, but I loved X-Men First Class. He absolutely got it. And I think it's just a real shame that Kick-Ass 2 had to happen around the same time. Otherwise, I think he would have stayed on.
Kick-Ass 2 shouldn't have even happened, if you
Well,
ask
it is.
me.
Popular and people like sociopaths, I guess, so...
See, sociopaths can be fun, Dexter.
Deadpool.
But the kid from Kick-Ass,
He's just like completely unlikable. I didn't want him to win
There's-
at all. So he just reminded me.
yeah.
Have you actually seen the ending of the original comic where guy doesn't end up with a girl? She sucks off another guy, takes a picture, and sends it to him.
Right.
Would have been hysterical if he forwarded the picture to her parents afterwards. That would have been
That's what I
revenge.
would have done. Fuck you, bitch. This is going on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the movie was just sort of meh, and I think it was just because everything went so well for these people that really shouldn't have won in the end.
It was advertised as a comedy, and I just didn't get the joke. Apparently,
There was nothing funny about it. It's
thought that the script was just, well, I could have written the script. All you have to do is write "fuck" on every page, and you're done. That's it.
Oh,
Go
good.
on.
It's shitty people fighting other shitty people.
At least when David Mamet made his characters say "fuck," it meant something. Have you guys seen Alec Baldwin's speech from Glenn Larry Glenn Ross?
No.
Fucking beautiful speech. Please go and watch it. I know Alec Baldwin's really shit nowadays, but that is probably one of the finest speeches I've ever seen. Honestly.
Yeah,
Wolverine?
but what?
Alec Baldwin from Glenn
Team
Larry.
America, god damn it.
How funny. Anyways,